essentially about the single unit system processor. It's a screen number 4, and I am sure all of you must be able to see that. You must know that in the early 1990s, many mainframe shops began looking at the possibility of replacing their mainframe with a PC-based network. However, several factors were essential for that. What I mean to say is, the most critical factor was the inability of a PC-based network to manage large volumes of data. Because it was clear that more and more companies were looking for networking capabilities, IBM at that time developed a new architecture called the System 390, or just S390. This system provided many of the same features in a PC-based network, but can manage large volumes of data as those systems cannot provide. Because of that, it had quickly become one of the most popular IBM system that was ever built. So, in the figure on your screen, you will see two of the first System 390 configuration. It's a very basic model from where the story started. The first configuration is called a single system uniprocessor, which consisted of a single central processor, as you can see on your screen. This processor, along with the other system hardware, such as channels and storage, make up what is known as Central Processor Complex, or the CPC. The idea of a CPC processor complex is common to all SYS 390 configurations. So, to conclude over here, a System 390 computer consisted of one or more central processor CPs. The CPs, along with the other system hardware, such as channels and storage, made up the central processor complexes. A single system uniprocessor consisted of a CP that's managed by an MVS ESA operating system. Because the system is controlled by a single copy of the operating system, it has a single MVS image. The next screen will talk about the tightly coupled multiprocessor. Let's go there. The diagram which is shown on your screen is basically the one which we are talking about as tightly coupled multiprocessor.